Oh, hello there. Welcome to Hell. I'm your host, Pandora, and that was Slipstream from Marvel It Up. That's the song. Pretty cool Shield song. I did watch a stream of it like long ago. Looked like a fun game. And I did remember that song a lot because of the fucking like fretless bass. More than anything else, it's just amazing. Anyway, here I am. We're gonna start with a load set because I want to get rid of this loaded. No, wait, I need to open it. So this is just an old poll load set. I want to have like a full recording of it so I can compare it in a better way. And then the idea is to later do load tests for the other polls with GIM and stuff and Sanity Warp too. And this is because I want footage of this thing like in one section. Because it's easier to isolate some different parts of it or analyze later. So how do I open this? Okay. Yeah, yes, Paul, no GIM. Alright. Let's see, is it showing? No. OBS. Leaks. There you go. Yeah, also this messes up with save files, and that's another reason why I want to get rid of this one. When I say get rid of this one, means showing it in the stream, so you don't have to care about that later. Because the other ones uses save files. So this starts from here. The other one, the next one I'll do, it's gonna start on a different place, probably from the beginning of the chapter, in order to take the crossbow away. But this already took the crossbow. So, crossbow bolts, book and bolts as usual here. And then the key, and this is again to kind of have one without mistakes at all, and also like all the normal tricks used on the old pole of any percent. This also was right after doing walking on custodian cutscene, which makes the pool go away a little bit earlier. And so there was like a tiny extra stamina there. I mean, sneak. Just a tiny bit. So then there is past Anthony. 7 hits, first phase. Then you cast a pull. And pretty much this same sequence is on the GIM route without Sanity Warp. It's fairly similar. Although the other one might not do that pause. Because I have a different pause later. On this one I kinda need an extra pause. So then we're going down. Remember, this is a load tab, I'm not playing the game. The emulator is playing itself. Attack here. And now the horror, and this has the best horror. It has the dead cancel, dead skip, whatever you want to call it. So then this crossbow, you have 1 frame to pause there. Put a jewel after you shoot. Unequip the crossbow and then put another one. And equip the sword. And then put this one here. Allows you to move during this cutscene a little bit. You move earlier and then there is a weird camera. And then these rooms are slightly different than the other route. Because here I kill things on the way back for stamina. Except this, because I need to kill these to advance, of course. But the other ones. And for this kind of the same reason, I killed Paragon. Like I do different attacks on the Paragon zombies. One on the first trip and one on the second. I would do 2 on the second trip, but I think you get, it's kind of slower. Last time I did it. So at least leaving 1 hit saves a little bit of stamina. So there you go. And then this is also for saving stamina, and it saves a tiny bit of time the next trip, on the third trip. We have bleeding walls right now. That's why Paul is looking randomly up. And then he always say that at this point. I still don't understand why. Like, maybe bleeding walls just stopped, and that's why he's saying that. But if you play this well, he's always gonna say it about there, or like getting out of the basement. He's either gonna say that or the weird sound he does. The trapper's still here. That is something about this route. If you do this thing, the trapper's still gonna be there. The custodian is right there because I did moving in custodian, which means the custodian is like halfway into the stairs, and you can talk to him earlier. And then after you talk to a custodian on that room, everything gets cleaned up from the room. Well, I guess the custodian gets cleaned up, rather. And so he will just disappear there. But you usually don't see it because he's out of camera. Also here, I'm supposed on the usual route to do a pull at the beginning of the hall. I'm doing it here. This is wrong, but it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't really change timing. But I wanna do the pull earlier for more magic. And that's... you're gonna see why later, but... Again, in terms of timing, overall stuff, it shouldn't matter that much. It's just that I kind of realized that when it was too late. And there's not really a whole lot you can do TASing on Dolphin. There's no snapshots or stuff like that. And I didn't want to TAS the whole part again. Just moving on Dagger. There's like 2 seconds, I think. And then this thing. And this is the reason why you want to do the pull earlier. I barely have any magic here. So that skips that thing. And to do... Then I had to skip it again. And for that I need enough magic for a trapper. And you can get that magic if you do an earlier pull. It's fairly guaranteed. Here it won't be guaranteed. So I'm... No magic message and the TAS ends there. But it's fine because I'm gonna get this part on the other one. On the GIM route. So GIM route and this route are the same on this room. And then GIM plus Sanity Warp is different. So then I'm gonna compare GIM no Sanity Warp to GIM Sanity Warp on this room. Yo, Sarah, how you doing? That's it for this. Now, I have footage of this. And to be fair, I actually did have footage before, but I wanted to make commentary over it too. Because why not? And now I need to make the next one. So, let me open this again. Now I don't have to worry about save. Although I need to think about saves a little bit. Because every time I do a save, the cursor changes. Like the position of the cursor changes. And I don't know if that's gonna give me trouble. What I do know is I need this save. It might be alright, because I'm using this one to save. Then I go here, load, and then I go here. I'm not gonna save on this one. Yeah. It's just going. Routing hell doesn't go well or bad, it just goes. I think. Yeah. Also something I got the other day is when you load this stuff. I know, like, Sir talk about some of these things, like getting attacks in the past with weapon. So that is known, but I didn't know, or I wasn't aware, or I didn't remember that you can get invisible reloads. So if you match A, first of all, you can do that. That's kind of cool. We got that the other day. He's doing a fucking, like, he's shooting like that. Amazing. It's like an action movie or something. I love it. It's actually something I would like to include on one of the games. I plan to make which it probably never happened, but I keep theorizing about it. It was an idea I had before this happened. And then if you match Z, so Max has 1 bullet here. So, okay, there's the change in position. So he has 1 bullet. If you press Z, you're gonna load. But yeah, that'll happen, of course, because I have low sanity. Otherwise, he will load 1. So that's normal. Now, some weird behaviors. If I shoot here, I think? No. I need to wait like a tiny bit. There you go. So if you wait a tiny bit, he does the weird bag animation. But it's just a little bit. There you go. Because if you match, you're gonna do the other thing. Or maybe it's with... Yeah, there you go. And then if you match Z, remember, I have only 1 bullet. I'm gonna match C. I did reload there. I have 2 bullets. But it was invisible. It just happened. And if you don't believe me on that, I'm gonna move here. Let's see. Because I think I was able to trigger the bullet. No, it didn't appear. Well, whatever. But I have 2 bullets, basically. There's an invisible reload. And it skips the sanity effect, too. Because if I do it too late, he's gonna get the sanity effect.
This can't be happening!
Optimal? No, it's not optimal, sadly. It's just something funny. Optimal reloading is reloading before saving twice. Which is what I need to get, actually. I just want to show it. This. Sanity effect triggers when you are low sanity and you need to reload. And maybe some kind of flag needs to be active. Apart, like on top of that. Kind of like the explosion thing. Yeah, so I need a save file. Yeah, I guess let's do that. Okay, so that's 2 bullets. Now that's actually kind of a good save file. I don't want to lose. I'm gonna make a save state. Just because it's kind of useful if I ever want to test something with that sanity effect. Okay. And then here. There you go. So from here, save to save. There. So on the TAS, I'll go here. Cursor's gonna be there. Then it's gonna switch here. And then it's gonna remain there. So then the next time I play the TAS, it's gonna move here. Which is bad, so I need to start from this. I need to save the cursor on this save file. And just have like an extra scroll on the TAS compared to RTA, which is fine. Can discount that, it's a couple frames. Yeah, so that way I'll always just save where the cursor is. And have max close to that. I think that's correct. I could do that test. This is the safe phone. Okay. Do a tiny... Oh, actually, before I do that... I actually don't know if the sanity is like, now that I read what you said better. I don't know if it is completely skipped. Yeah, let's do. Yeah, it's skipped.
This isn't really happening.
All I needed to know. Okay, I'm now pre-poll here. I do need this from the beginning of the chapter, which sucks a little bit, but I think it's the only way to make it work. So that means we're gonna do the beginning of the chapter twice. Is this a good spot? I need to load twice. Cursor is here. I think this works. I'll do a test though. And there's something else I need to do. I need to adjust explosion, because I don't have it on that thing.
Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there.
Yeah, so cursor is here, one this way. Read this. Do a whole lot of things. Save on place. Do some more things. Load this one. Okay, rune ID is 55. Why? The illegal logo? Yeah, that's a Japanese logo. Japanese and maybe PAL, I guess. I see 55. This might not work. Wait a second. It cancels animations. When you open a door, you're looking at the door closing it. So you need to turn around. If you do another animation, you don't need to turn around. It's just that. Why is it 55? What's going on? They just fucked up my max somehow. I need to close this. Pause.
Deep there.
OBS, please.
This can't be happening!
I didn't want to do that. Pause.
What's going on here?
It didn't trigger last time. Right after this.
What's going on here?
Okay. Yeah, only the blue ones do that. The other ones just stare at you. No, actually, they chase you without arms and don't do anything. And the green ones can keep attacking, and they'll do like double sanity damage or something like that with the limbs that doesn't exist. Cool. Alright, let's try with this one.
In Europe, during the time
I
of
really
the
need this to
Inquisition,
work.
paranoia and corruption.
I mean, technically, I could always pause the load tab and modify memory in the run. Not the biggest fan of that, but I can do it. And just pause the timer too. Now I need to save. Fuck. But whatever, I will see the rune at least. Okay, it's 15. So something went wrong on my saves. Save in place. Do something. Load here. And then load in place. Okay. That's the save, that's the load. And that's the save. And rune IDs 15. Good. Now for the real shit. I forgot something. Yeah. Okay. Alright, that should do it. Take 3 or 4 or whatever.
Deep into that darkness peering.
Have explosion. Yeah, explosion is there.
In Europe, during the time of the Inquisition,
Nice time to play perfect. I don't need any luck for this, actually. That's the whole point of the TIS. I'm sorry to inform you that I don't need any luck. I just need patience. And don't mess up my save states. Three, four, five. Not sure. We'll see. That's kind of a ride, but I missed it. This movement is hard. 6. I'm not sure about that. 7.
Ah, Brother Luther, not a moment too soon.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2. No. Okay, I think it's. Is it alright?
Brother Luther, not a moment too soon.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. I'll make an 8th there. I just want to check. Okay, he's here. Proper's there, okay. 8th. Very intended, yes. So there, here is the first difference with the third TIS I will do. So not really here, which would be no crossbow. What do you mean Netlick? Oh no. Oh no. That's painful. I could just discount that part. And I'll have it on the other one regardless. I'm just gonna discount it. I don't give a shit. I mean, from where? I guess from here. We'll discount this part. I don't want to do that part again. Like, I already need to do it again later. Am I here? Yeah, I should be there. Okay. Yeah, Alexa, how's it going? Yeah, I don't give a shit. Oh, fuck. Of course I'm not in the correct place. I kind of want to do it again. That's not a normal message. I'm doing meh. I'm tired. That angle. Bad angle again. Is that the trapper on the way? What's going on here? Our trapper's dead. What the fuck? Yeah, I forgot the boss. Yeah, I forgot the pause. Okay. I assume he's just dead. I hope he's just dead. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Okay, then here. Watch the cutscene. Save. Yeah. its own place. And then fuck. Why you didn't save that? Okay. Yeah, I gotta scroll the other way around here. That's never gonna work. F4. Yo, Emma, how you doing? I hide back.
There's someone here.
Yo, big no. Thank you for the host. 7, 6. What was the rest of your runs? She says she's not back, she's Emma. I see. And then on a kind of promising run, but Paul died to double horror memes. Some best is now sub 39. Nice. Double horror. You're walking between the horrors on the dagger. Is that what you mean? Okay. I'm not really a fan of that. I usually don't do it unless I need to, unless I'm doing trapper on dagger. Well, I guess it kind of depends. Like I try to avoid walking between them if I'm not doing trapper. And of course, if the blue horror survive, because there can be a double arm attack. Because you can actually walk behind the green horror and it's almost the same time. The only bad part is that you will pretty much get a guaranteed green electricity, which is fine. Because at that point you have a pool, so that's just 5 damage. But the thing is, even if you get the electricity, you can still pause and input the dagger, and you'll be fine. And I think it's totally fine. Like walking in between is really just a necessity if you're doing trapper in dagger. If not, it's like a second. I don't think it's more than a second time save. Oh yeah, slow scrolls. Fast. F1. F2. Oh, come on. Double arm? So rude. F3. Does this trapper matter? It shouldn't matter. I use the same pause, so F3, yeah, F3, F4. F3, F4. I think it's there, this is here, and then 2 more. See if that works at least. I can probably do it earlier. F4. Okay, that's still fine. Alright. Too much. F5. That's really close. Fine. Okay. We good. I do have certain things I do just to be daring. Yeah, I know that. The thing is, it's not just about level. It's about, I think it's more about the amount of risk you want to have, because there's things I avoid even on high level, depending on how I feel on the run. Because for me, it's always kind of a question between, again, just disregard. Reward, I think it is. Not regard. Okay, this is not bleeding walls, makes sense. Specifically, stuff high level runners do, but that's the thing, not even I do some of that. Like, I usually skip those things if I get, let's say, if I get a run that gets a very high risk, high regard thing. Like, for example, you can take a look at my CS run. My CS run saved the game in 2 places because I was totally fine messing up something after all this very good CSs I got, you know? And we're talking, and I'm the top runner, you know, and I fucking saved the game on the war record. And then there's the 130, any percent. I fucked up some stuff too there. And I played safe on several spots just because I went for the other risk, which is bigger, but it saves like minutes, you know? That's the thing. But yeah, it's up to you at the end, of course. And for example, I make that because I go for Trapper on Dagger, which is a good, it's a better safe reward than not doing Trapper there. So for example, the scenarios where I don't do Trapper, which are like some marathons, I actually go for the safe part. Oh, it will. I mean, the only reason it's because no one else is like yet going for the out of the ultra technical strats. Not even me. Like I haven't done the new Roberto skip. I haven't done this shit too. It really is a question of who wants to do it. Like if you want to do it, you will get it. You can push it. It's just I don't know if exists if there is a player in the world that loves this game enough to push that, you know? That's the thing. I bet Sir could do it. Okay, from here I need to do the Jaguar movement. Yeah. And then the ski is 1, 2, 3. Yeah. That's a weird movement. A very gradual approach. I'd add increasingly. Yeah. No, I mean, listen. If we're being like fully fair, I did the same shit. The difference is that, like, let's say I kind of had no option, quote unquote, because the things weren't there yet. You know, like I actually, yeah, I had the benefit. It's kind of, in a way, a luxury, if you want, or a privilege, whatever. I had the benefit that I actually was more gradual than you because I started on almost glitchless. And so I had to learn everything on an extremely gradual shit. Kind of like when you learn maths and you start with the most basic shit and then add everything else. You kind of had to start from university. Like you started from calculus, technically. You haven't got to like more advanced shit, but you still started on calculus, technically. And I started on like adding numbers because of that. So that's why it's also easier for me to do that thing, whatever. But yeah, I mean it's also 2 extra years, of course. All right. Yeah, and that's also why there's so much stuff that it's really not obvious. That sometimes I forget that is not obvious. I need to look at my stamina. It's because it's stuff from the past. A lot of I would say most backups are just coming like going back to old strats. But if of course if you're not familiar with the old runs, you won't know that. Like, there's literally no way for you to know that. 6,000. Looks pretty good. Just need to reach these. It's such an awkward menu. And just match B. There's no animation here that I need to cancel. Just a cutscene. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, you can technically... Yeah, what Sierra said. You usually, like, that's kind of a rule for every speed game. You should practice late game more than early game, because you're actually gonna practice early game on your attempts much more. That said, there is some scenarios you will never get on late game practice, because those scenarios depend on stuff that happens on early game, and that is only from experience from runs, sadly, unless you literally do save state for every single case, which, by the way, I've done it. I've actually done several. I've done that in the past, where I do save states and practice for different scenarios of late game. But it's still hard to get into every situation because you actually don't know every situation. There's some stuff that will happen and you have no idea it will happen, and you need to react. And then it's like a Minecraft speedrun. You just need to improvise well. How's my magic? 68. I think a good example of that is when on CS I fucked up Explosion on Kareem. That is a perfect example of that. Like, I was literally roading during the cutscenes because of the stupid cutscene. You know, like, we have to watch the cutscene a million times, so I actually had a lot of time to route in the run. It was kind of funny. The chapters themselves are pretty independent, but there is a lot of things that carry through. And so, for example, one thing is Explosion. You need to always pay attention to whether Explosion is active or not, and whether you lose it or not. And then you can decide, depending on your experience, if it's worth it to keep going or not without Explosion. Most of the time it's a gamble. But if you have a minute to save on late game, you should keep going. Because today there's ways to get around Explosion. And you can get good bind horrors. Actually faster than the bind skip. It's just very unlikely. But it can happen. You can reset after that, for example, if you don't get any good horrors. The other thing that carries around the game is Alex magic. So, for example, if you fucked up a spell on, let's say, Alex 10 or something, then your magic on Alex 12, the last Alex segment, won't be the same. And that might fucked up your magic route with shields and pull and basement warp, for instance. So you have to remember if you did fucked up something. The other thing is pay attention to bleeding walls, which that doesn't translate between chapters. But here, for example, on Ball, it makes a difference on what strats you're using, and it's like early game compared to, or early poll compared to mid poll and late poll. What else? And I think that's about it. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is like messing up an assignment. Yeah, I mean that's kind of big. If you mess up an assignment too, or if you mess up creating a spell. Does the verify on Kareem where you kind of need to know backup start? Yes. Oh wait, hang on. What's going on? Yeah, there's many. There's a lot. Pretty much. Here's the thing. Every advanced strats, you either need to know backups or you need to be like you need to accept that you're gonna reset a lot. Either one of those two things, because the game is not optimized as much, so you have to reset, so you can learn the backups. But the thing is, a lot of the backups, you cannot learn them. You have to think about them because it's not like they're scripted. There's some backups are scripted, some others not too much. But yeah, every advanced trick needs backups. If you don't, if the skip, let's say, doesn't crash, one, and two, if you don't want to reset every single run, or not every single run, but a lot, let's say. Yeah, that only comes from experience. You're gonna get better and better at that. Although you can't help messing around, doing practice and failing stuff on purpose, like specific tricks on purpose, and then keep going. That also helps. Magic 64. Magic 64. That's an attack. Is it just an attack? Sanity is 100. I can actually do Rekos. I can do 2 Rekos. I don't know if you hear that, but that was a that wasn't on purpose. I can do 2 Rekos. I guess. Is that safe? That might be safe. 1, 2, 2. It's too close, I think. 1, 2. It's way too close. I'd rather do an attack. And then that's 30. Yeah, makes more sense. So attack and then trapper. And then another awkward menu. Six, 7. And you would think this would help on the fight, this enchantment, but it doesn't. It's not just that it doesn't add enough to decrease the amount of hits. No, it actually doesn't increase the damage on Paul, because he's a neutral creature. I think all humans have that, or most of them, where enchant doesn't increase damage. Yeah, no reset runs are good practice for that. But it's also sometimes hard to even do no resets, because Sometimes it just feels wrong to finish certain runs because of how bad they are. So you usually leave some no reasons to like rusty or de-rust or marathon practice. Anthony's only aligned with being sad, yes. But we free him, supposedly. Finally. What do I do here? Let's see, in the next part, it's the page. The second evidence page. Then I go up, get dagger, then go down. There is one pause for the jewels. Okay, so I don't need the sword yet. Good. No soft lock. Well, that one isn't a soft lock actually. Just a slow cutscene. You get the soft lock if you get the cutscene and open the door at the same time. Five. Let's go back. 5, 6. Better. Sanity is 85, yeah. I don't think that's enough for bleeding balls. I know this weird movement here. You will never see this side of the cathedral otherwise. What do you mean you're on PV base? Are you running now? And oh, okay. When you realize that okay. It was an unfinished. I mean not unfinished. Split. Makes sense. Like you're sleeping, you're speed running, and watching the stream at the same time. All those things. I can't really understand how you're able to do Pvs on marathons. That is like so out of my comprehension. Just talking about me, by the way. Like me doing that. I would never be able to do something like that. Yeah, no, I mean fair enough. There's several games I think you can, but you probably wouldn't be typing that much, right? If you do that. Unless you're running CS. Yeah, but still, I mean, listen, LV2 is also unoptimized. But I am not PVing that shit on a marathon. Like, what the fuck? LV2 is super unoptimized, for instance. What I do feel about it though, I'm not talking about your run because I'm not familiar with your run at all. But with other runners, if you go for that kind of shit, well, it depends on the game, of course, because you know there's crashes and stuff. But I think it's a big gamble because you might have such a sick run in a marathon, or you might have a complete mess, you know? Because if you mess hard going for all the hard shit, even if you're inside the estimate, it's completely not what you were trying to do going for the harder stuff. But I guess it's up to the runner. I've always been from the school of thought that it's fine to have like good commentary instead of good gameplay. But that's mainly because I run games nobody know about. So I actually need the good commentary to make it interesting. Where I feel like some games that are more known, since they have been on the spotlight so many fucking times, you actually kind of need sick gameplay to make it interesting, I think. Because we've heard that commentary over and over and seen those games over and over. Like on GDQ and stuff like that. So you need a better runner to make up for it, but I don't know. Not sure. But yeah, like it, for example, on Eternal Darkness, it doesn't matter if I play good or bad. Like nobody's gonna care about that. They just will see a glitch. Done or not done, but not done well or done bad. And if I don't say if it is a glitch, a lot of people might not notice. Like yeah, here we're skipping Edward, but guess what? Most of the people haven't played the game, so they don't know taking the stethoscope means you're skipping a chapter, you know? So I need to tell them, yeah, that is big deal. We just skip 20 minutes of gameplay. Get hype. You know?
Brother Andrew suspected Augustine all along.
Goodbye, Custodian. Just teleporting into his death, rather. Yeah. Most frustrating with horror skip. Yeah. Yeah, especially with horror skip on max, for example. Because nobody knows what I'm doing. And I don't think I got it on any marathon. So on all the marathons, I'm like fucking around. I don't get the thing, and then I need to say, yeah, this is like I'm trying to do a thing, but it didn't work. I'm sorry, you know. I don't know. No, not I'm sorry, but and then you explain the trick that didn't happen. Or I guess you don't explain it, you just skip it. So it's like horror skip. Yeah, and it's funny. You could actually make up so much stuff if you want. Like I could say whatever I want. The only person that can correct me is Sir. Like I could say something like, "Oh, here if you don't press this will crash," and people will be like, "Oh, that's so hard." Like you can crash everywhere. Okay, we have dagger. I have a lot of magic. Okay, so this magic right here looks very promising. I like it. This magic right here, I think it means this is the same as the other. Yeah, that makes sense. So now I can do my pull here and demonstrate, I think, that you have enough magic for Trapper Dagger, Dagger Trapper, and then Dispel. No, just talking for one of his friends. You're not talking about you, right? No, it's just a friend. I would never self-promote. That's illegal. Bleeding walls right here makes sense. Yeah, this is something really cool about this route though. You get bleeding walls at the end. That is really cool. Now you do get these weird trappers here. There is a moving cutscene here, but it's not really worth it. Just lose time. Why am I still local recording? I shouldn't be doing that. Oh, I local record the fuck out of this. Not convinced. That's better. Okay, and then I have F1, F2 previews, F5, F6 for the worst horrors. Now the good thing about this is the horror is looking away, which means it needs to turn around, and that actually kind of prevents bad patterns a little bit, unless you get double arm, which I think it might happen anyways. You can do better than that. That's better. This is 81. I believe that's just enough. I think that's just fine. That hit is on purpose. It helps me setting up the perfect distance. It's just a strat I like to use to make this more consistent. And yeah, that's definitely enough magic. The bad part is you get hit. So if you don't have a pull here, you're gonna be low on lower health, and that sucks. Yeah, that's also very old teach. He's running on the background. For 1, 2, 3, 4. He will keep running forever. Going through damage fields. I don't really need to finish this, but I guess I'll do it. Just finish it. We're gonna have the entire chapter, why not? Imagine if I'm not recording this shit. Actually, don't imagine that. Well, GIM. Good. Alright. Now I can local record. I didn't really put a timer on the last one. And I think I'm fine with that. This is really just for me, honestly. Just to analyze. Plus I will need to pause the timer on one part. GIM. Pull GIM. There you go.
Deep into that darkness peering.
You can do it, obvious. I know you can do it. No? Not yet? Not quite. There you go. Alright. Movie time. Yo, follow this channel.
In Europe, during
Why
the
not?
time of the Inquisition,
If you're there watching the stream and you haven't followed, do it. It's free. It's only gonna cost you one space in your currently streamers that you probably have like 3 or no, like right now active, or 5 maybe. You can definitely spare one more space there. I actually don't know if there's a way to get rid of that and still follow. Kinda wanna know. Alright, so same thing. So far, this is the same beginning as the other. I didn't show the beginning of the other, but you gotta believe me on that. You can watch at any percent if you don't believe me. It's the same shit. But if you watch a run, you won't see this part though. Even though this is part of the route, you will summon a trapper here. I haven't done a run with this part yet. You wait here, this is for Japanese. Yo, thank you so much. I'm overcome with emotion. Then use a meditation rod. This trick is fairly precise, and then move here and talk to the guy during the cutscene.
Not a moment too soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the sub. And then moving here, out of camera. I have a strat for that. A TIS can do it way faster, but the strat is good for RTA. And yeah, like if you get lost out of camera, is very fucked up. Because there is a lot of little spaces, like pillars and stuff in that corridor where you literally get stuck and you have no way to tell where you are. And a cutscene won't give you the camera back. So the only way to get the camera back, it's like go back up. Or I guess if you get close to the door, you will get the camera back. But at that point, you already solved the puzzle because you want to get to the door. So maze, but now this time we go here. And here we need to discount this part. This is me solving a problem, an assignment problem. You can see I'm frustrated. So I need to cut this part from the timing if I ever do a timing. And then I need to adjust this because the menu has to be on enchant. And then from there we keep going. Okay. It's just are those called bloopers? Then here double free cast in order to do an attack and a free enchant. Free attack, free enchant. Moving during the cutscene, killing trappers too. We need this enchant. We're not gonna fight, we're gonna go back and save the game. There you go. Now we're gonna fight. Killing this horror before the trapper finish the summon. Very important. And now we're gonna load for Max. And the objective of Max is kill a rune zombie. So we will save the rune, the ID of this creature. Or the item, I don't know if it is the item or the creature. It's the number 15 that you can see on the memory. Rune ID. Now with this number 15, if I kill this horror with a trapper summon here, the trapper will do weird stuff with the previous fight too, something like that. And now we're gonna kill it, and it's gonna give me an item, and that's get item manipulation, the GIM. And that item is an item that normally you have to do a big detour to get on this. Instead we're getting it from like the horror and the trapper. And then you still need to get the sapphire, which you can do by finishing up the horror. This is GIM, yes. Like when you got light arrows on water after being in front of a chest in OT, yeah, that kind of shit. But in a horror game. And you can get any item of this chapter, I think. But not every item is useful. Like that's the most useful. You can get any item that is loaded, rather. Which is kind of sad, because otherwise we will be able to get the dagger immediately. And that would save a lot. A whole fucking lot. Instead we're getting the last piece of evidence. So we don't need to go to the second basement. So we save a trip there. Now this comes at the price of doing some shit on Max, because we need to align these two IDs perfectly to get the item. So it's not completely fair to compare the timing of this shit to the timing of the old poll alone. You also need to add a whole lot of stuff on Max. But at the end, it should still save time. The last estimation on the previous stream was about 20 seconds save. Overall, I think it's probably more than that, like with a better Max. Is it mega hard? I wouldn't call it mega hard, but I would call it pretty hard. Like, I don't think any of the tricks used here is as hard as bronze skip. But you do need to get like several silver skips one after another. Like 5 or 6 in a row. Or like Black Guardian skip with zombie clip, stuff like that, maybe. I don't know.
Suspected Augustine all along.
I'm also still not very familiar with every single crash and every single softlog. Or backups. Because technically you have 20 seconds for backups. At least. But I don't know. I mean, I have seen some of them, but I'm not entirely familiar with these tricks yet. Oh yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about, Pandora, yeah. Let's see, this is way harder than fighting behind the barrier, stuff like that. And then here we now need to finish this thing. And these trappers are slightly harder to avoid than the others, but not as much. And so we're coming here to the second basement for the first time. Unlike on the other run. All of these will be clean by now. So you gotta attack this fucker twice on one trip to get Pargon. And then here we actually have enough magic to do a trapper. This is dagger, moving in dagger cutscene. You summon a trapper, you release it during the cutscene, and you can move during the cutscene before it finishes. The door, you saw it. It wasn't there, but the B-prom is there, even if you don't wait for the animation. And then here, you can move during the last part of the trapper summon. You can move a little bit if there's no enemies. If there is enemies, you move infinitely. And you don't have collision with damage fields during that. And so we gotta do it again now. To go back. This one's way easier. The previous one is very tight and hard. This one, not as hard. Because you move infinitely. You see, he's very far away from the thing. In the other one, you move super tiny bit. So you can actually get stuck inside the damage field. And then getting out of that is, oh my gosh. It's hell. Because you need magic for another trapper, and then you need to hit the same timing again. But from a very awkward position. Now don't forgive them. Those horrors are big trolls. Something cool about this route is you actually don't need to manipulate sanity effects. Never. Like never ever, because you just get you don't get any bad sanity until late, and once you get it late, you get bleeding walls until the end of the chapter. So there's no sanity manipulation or effect manipulation, and also there's no like use of the meditation rod or anything for beginner strats. There might be, I mean, technically you use it twice. So, and I think that's it. Does it have like 2 uses or 3? I don't remember. It might be 3. And that's one of the reasons you get a lot of sanity too. That's not a benefit of the other route, because this is the second route, but there's another one. There's GIM plus sanity effect warp. And that's a completely different beast. That's gonna be on the next episode after this BRV. I'll do my best to TAS that too. Yeah, that is a route I'm probably never doing. This one, I might consider it. Depending on how much we can increase that time save. Because it's a minimum of 20 seconds. But if we can get it to up to 30 maybe, I'm a fan of that. I would be a bigger fan if it was like a minute, but the other one might be like a minute, but it can also be minus 2 minutes if you never get a good sanity effect. You actually have to gamble. Or rather, a bad sanity effect, not even a good one. You need a bad one. A good one doesn't work. Who would have thought we would actually want a bad sanity effect? Is it art time? Yeah, I think it's art time. Okay. Be right back. Welcome back. Till the Sunrise Comes by Orc, which is type like it's Orc with K, but it's capital O, capital R, and it has points in between, like dots. It's this. Let's see. There you go. That's the name of the band. Yeah, and so that band is a favorite, one of my favorite bands actually. I love it. You're familiar with it, interesting. And yeah, I just love it. I think that guy has one of my favorite voices of all time. Like I would put this guy, I know he's Italian, I don't remember his name. I'm pretty sure he's Italian. And it's just awesome. I put it on my top tier list of voices that I like, along with, you know, like Cedric, I'll say Elliot Coleman, and like who else? Maybe Serge. I have a weird relationship with Serge Tankian because I love his voice on studio, but I don't love his voice so much live. So it's kind of a complicated decision. So I think just because of that, I might put Serge on a high tier, but not on top tier for my taste. Bjork is on top tier, of course. Absolutely. Yeah, System Live just doesn't sound as powerful as on studio. Although I think Daron has better light voice than Serge. So few, right? Exactly. But that's why this is so good. That's why this guy's so good. So okay, so I'm gonna tell my story about Orc a little bit while I go back to this. Have that recorded. So Orc, I got to know Orc because of, guess what? King Crimson. A whole lot of my my musical experience comes from that band. So the drummer of Listen to My Story, it might be the last time. We might not have another chance. No, so the drummer of Orc is Pat Mastelotto, and Pat Mastelotto is one of the late drummers of King Crimson. So I think he started on, where was it, on track, or maybe it's just Power to Believe, like the last one, Construction. I don't know, but it's kind of a late drummer of the band. I say late because there was several drummers basically, and so that's one guy from King Crimson. The other guy from King Crimson is Trey Gunn, but Trey Gunn is not on Orc, by the way. But he'll make sense later, of course. And so Trey Gunn is I think it's called War Guitar, something like that. I don't even know why it's called like that. I think it's with 2 R's. This shit. That is a war guitar. So Trey Gunn plays this. And Trey Gunn is from Track. Yeah. Which is like 7th or 8th album of King Crimson. Something like that. Or no, it's like 10. I don't remember. So the thing is, okay, so Stickman came to Chile about 2 times. So I've talked about Stickman. So I was familiar with Pat Mastelotto. So Pat Mastelotto. He played on Stickman. There you go. And then years later, I got to hear Stickmin again. They came to Chile again, a second time, and it was amazing too. And then I knew about this band just looking at stuff on like definitely not this. I don't think we're gonna get any pictures, honestly. Yeah, it makes sense. I got to know about this band. I don't exactly remember how I got to know about this band, but then they would come here to Chile, and they actually came with Trey Gunn, Los Masteloro. I think it's called 2. Let's see, Trey Gunn. Yeah, that makes sense. So this is Pat Masteloro and Trey Gunn. So both came together the same day to make a concert. And so I was like, okay, this will be good. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, it's gonna be good. And 2 wasn't so great for me, actually. If I'm being honest, it's just not for me. It's too much like orc band. Yeah, that might work actually. That's too many strings. Yeah. And yeah, 2 is way too ambient and too minimalistic and too fucking avant-garde for my taste. So I was like a little bit destroyed with that. But it wasn't that long. So it was fine. It was just fine, just not for me. But then Orc came, and this was the time where Orc had their first album. Only the first, which, by the way, the song I put is from the second one. And the first album for me is a perfect album. It's one of those albums that I kind of need to hear the entire album. Like, I cannot stop to just hear one song. It's absolutely amazing. In Flame Right, I actually have it on CD because it's great. And I was completely in love with that album at the time. And then on the concert, because it was the first concert or the first, tour, they played the entire album, every single song, because they didn't have any other songs, and it wasn't that long of an album. But actually, I think they play every song and also maybe a King Crimson song or something, like plus. And dude, it sound the exact same quality as fucking studio. I still can't believe it. I've never heard such fidelity in concert in my entire life. The guy sounded exactly as you hear it on the fucking song I just put it. Exact same voice quality. It was incredible. And also with all the fucking effects, because the guy had some sort of module to put some distortion on voice on some parts, and that was an instrument, and he will use it. And actually, no, I don't think it was him. It was there was kind of an engineer that was part of the band, I think. So it was like an extra instrument, and they will modify all those things on the stage. It wasn't like behind on backstage. No, it was right there. And yeah, even no, because it actually, like, you would hear a lot of extra stuff too. And yeah, no, the guy has such an amazing voice. It's crazy. I can't believe it. And everything else, it was perfect. It was so fucking perfect. I think until now, it's probably the best in terms of quality. Is the best concert I ever seen in my life. Like top. And then in terms of energy, it will be probably at the drive-in after that, because fucking Cedric and Omar have so much energy. Yeah, no, this guy knows a lot. This guy knows a lot. Like, there's this thing, this fucking effect. Well, it's not an effect, but it's like a vocal technique. Hang on. I need to put the different audio track. I'm gonna lower this a little bit. But there's this part of the song. Where is it? around here. He does this thing that you would hear, like, it's kind of Native American stuff a little bit. Like, I think that's usually where you see it on like media. I don't know if Native American actually did that, okay? But it's like from Westerners. It's like around here. That shit, you hear that shit? That thing is so hard to do while you're like singing a hard part on a song. I love it. Like, what the fuck? It's like it's a very hard technique where you move some parts of your throat to make that effect. It's amazing. I love it. And yeah, the first album has some stuff like there is some falsettos that are absolutely crazy to do, and he will land every single note. Just what the fuck. Okay. Now back to work. But yeah, if you ever have the chance to see that band,
Doubting.
it's really great live. Yeah. And of course, the rest of the band is also amazing. Pat Mastelotto is an amazing drummer. Just flawless drummer. And the rest of the cast was also very good. Like, the guitar was amazing, the bass was amazing too.
You too will come to understand fear as I have.
And I think maybe this add up to it, but the fact that I saw it right after 2, which I was like, did I really, like, I mean, it was kind of cool that 2 happened before, because then it could just get better for me, you know? Okay, I'm not doing a TAS right now. I just wanna get familiar. Like, this is gonna be hell to TAS. Team load, sanity ward route. So there's this thing. Yeah, so Trapper's there. So what is the only difference here? I need to deliver. I watch a cutscene. What I hear of it, it sounds terrible. What sounds terrible? What are you talking about? The sanity warp? Oh yeah. No, it's terrible. But I know, like, I remember Sir saying that there was a slightly, like, there was a way to make the consistent strat work. I think we need to search on my previous chat, maybe. Kinda sucks. Yeah, because I need to go up, deliver evidence, and then go down. Just want to check some of it before I go into TIS, if I ever go today. I'm getting hungry. Okay, probably a pool here. I mean, I still need to go... No, hang on. I still need to go to Old Tower. I just skip Anthony. But I'm still missing one evidence. So yeah, that kind of sucks. This would actually save much more if you wouldn't need to come to Old Tower at all. This fucking piece of evidence. Only reason we have to come here. Not even this shit, because we skipped 5 circle. The absolute dream would be find a way to modify flags. I mean, at that point, you're probably getting to ace territory, I would say, but this wouldn't be the only save. But that would be a way to skip much backtracking on this chapter, getting the flags for the evidence pieces. Because you don't even need the items, you only need the flags, but you get those flags when you get the item, normally. Which one? The book? Of course. Of course. Well, let's see. I don't know which one it is. Yeah, Ron. You know, this part has this weird feeling. Not that much. I think it's more about me getting to use. When you come here and you enter from here, you're kind of going down, but then here you're going up. So it still makes sense because they're showing you the stairs. So in that sense, it's still fine. Like I'm merely talking from a casual perspective, like getting the player confused on movement. But I think it's still fine because you're giving the player cues about from where you're coming, like the stairs. Why the fuck I'm talking about this is because I'm gonna talk about this again. Limbo of the Lost, worst video game ever, has this problem every fucking where. Because the game, it's a point and click, and it pretty much only it stole assets from a lot of games, and basically pictures. Like you would see something like this on that game, like imagine this basement. This is a picture without Paul, of course, or like maybe here it's better. That would be a picture in the game, you know. No, it doesn't have Eternal Darkness. It has stuff like what does he have? It probably has Morrowind, Castle Wolfenstein, I think, Thief, and something else. There's more stuff. There's many old games. By the way, the game came out on 2008, so it could actually had an Eternal Darkness, but but hey. So you would see an image like this, and it would be a flat image like all Resident Evils, and the player moving in it with a point and click, a very slow animation. But the thing is, every time you get to a new room, the character starts like this. It doesn't matter from where you're coming. You will start like this. The character looking directly at the player. Always. So like here, for instance. This room. Well, here you're looking at the player. It will start like this. You know? Instead. Just staring down. Even if you're coming from a different direction. You know? So here it will start like this. But actually, I probably need to, like, I can't really make my point with this game because it has dynamic camera. I would need, like, free camera to explain it well. But yeah, it's so stupid. And you get lost all the time. It's such a bad game. Yeah, no, the thing is, it's painful to playing. That is the thing. Like, I have fun watching a gameplay of it because it's someone else is having the pain. You know? Because you see, like, okay, something you would do on Limbo of the Lost is you will talk to this guy will give you an item, and now you have to deliver that item on, let's say, the basement. Okay? So if this was Limbo of the Lost, you have to do this. Until the basement. And then go back and deliver that to this guy. That is Limbo of the Lost in a nutshell. That's how slow the guy moves. It's stupid. And then you have to pixel hunt for the items. Because the game is extremely precise on where you have to press the thing. So you would get stuck everywhere. And then none of the puzzles make sense. There's no sense in any puzzle. And it's a point and click, yes. Alright. Bleeding walls. That is kind of bad. But it doesn't matter, I have explosion. Yeah, no, there's several point and clicks that you can make the animations fast. And it's also not just the animations, there's like so many empty rooms that you need to traverse. Like going from one place to another. So it's like on, I guess you can think of ED, you know, on ED there's also a bunch of that, or like all Resident Evils. But at least, like on all Resident Evils, you get stuff to do in between, casually at least. Like you leave zombies behind, some zombies respawn, or something. So you have something to do in between. Instead of just watching a guy walking slow with a stalled background, you know? So I don't have explosion. Sanity is just low now. Of course I don't have it, yeah. Makes sense. There you go. Yeah, sanity is low here. So here I will do my first explosion. First explosion. No? How much sanity do you have? Why not? What's going on? Fuck. Timer's what's going on? Why is the timer frozen? They unhook this thing. I think I remember Sir talking one time about frozen timer. This is like an awesome glitch, by the way, if this is a thing. Frozen from here. I'm gonna close the ME. And this. I need to get sure about this. No, it's not that room.
Deep into that darkness peering.
I mean, it's not something you would see on that room normally.
Wondering, fearing, doubting.
Yeah, that is a frozen timer. Holy shit. I don't know what I did. Hopefully I had that on the stream. Otherwise I'm gonna be sad. Okay, I think this one's frozen before. Lingual still doesn't exist here. Quick timer's here. This is frozen. Okay, this one's frozen, I think, because it's minimized. This is not actually frozen. Yeah, I don't have it. I don't think I have it. Unless it happens here. Let's see. Oh, why do I have it? I have it minimized. It's frozen from here. It was probably already frozen here. Yes, it wasn't updated on OVS. Fuck. Only thing I can think of is talking to the guy with bleeding walls. I'm pretty sure Sir has something about frozen timer. Frozen. Probably pretty old. 4 times frozen. Cancel effect. Place. Bumper will be frozen. No. Factory is frozen. There's too many frozens in the results. Frozen timer? No. What about the timeline? Features and contributions. Frozen. No. Timer. Intro timer variable. Disabled input timer. Early horror. Global timer. Word timer. Enchant Recess of Pious, full timer events. Alright. Let's see if he's frozen to forever. Please. I do remember this. I think he was saying something about Michael. Yeah, I think it's fully frozen. See, something about Michael. Michael frozen. No. Sanity. It's too many Michaels. It needs to be on. It can be on 2019. Too many results. He doesn't know what's going on. This might get changed if I go to low sanity. There is a chance that is something to do with me modifying the explosion, but it shouldn't be that. Like I modify explosion so many times. Fully frozen, Jesus. What about this? And I did close this thing again. That's load. Yeah, that gives the thing back. That makes sense. I guess I'll get a safe stake here. What you do when you get glitches. Start with that, and then... Oh, look! Okay, it's not frozen here. So maybe it was because I just modified the thing. Although I modified it later. Because it was on like 19,000. Yeah, I believe you. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm gonna have to ask sir. Yeah, but I don't think I can deduce anything from the save state, sadly. Unless there's some kind of weird flag, but I don't think so. Okay. We also probably cannot share save states. Explosion, please. Not the exact one, but a close one. Shrink player. Okay. So what would I do here, though? If I'm going for a sanity effect like this. Oh yeah, I was thinking about maybe assigning something else. Because otherwise I'm doing attacks. Could just do an enchant, technically. It's kind of slow. This one is the difficult one. Okay. And then here I need another one. There. So why is the trapper not here? Shouldn't be a trapper here. Well, I guess you can kill on the way back. Well, it doesn't matter really if there is a trapper or not. Doesn't change anything. Now I do need to check one of my past streams. Circumvented something. I think it was towards the end. which is the stuff I'm not great at. So the sign, which puts these into the realm of 59. 16. Oh, I didn't save this. It's me watching a stream of me watching a stream of me watching a stream of. That's why my streams are on the now. I don't remember. I'm a reaction channel now. Yeah, that's about it, I think. At least. Chat, what's going on? It died. The chat died. Fuck. Yeah, never mind. I don't think it's here, is it? I don't know. Drama channel. Ugh. That's easy. You just have to talk about FFX2 or something like that. And then you'll instantly have a drama channel. Just say that game is good and you're good. Alright, I guess I gotta figure it out on my own. Firewall is not that bad. I don't actually think Firewall is bad. I just conflicted with the way Firewall exists after Celeste. But I don't think it's bad per se. It's very contextual. Like it depends a lot on context to say that I didn't enjoy Firewall as much as I wanted. FFX2 on the other hand, it's bad. But also with context is even worse. Sierra, I'm gonna ban you from my chat. Okay. Okay, so there's the attack. So that eliminates trappers. And then there's change in position. Seven. I need to wait, I think. Yeah, I need to wait. Camera change, yeah, makes sense. He still runs immediately. Oh no. Why are you bringing all the drama? Fucking hacks, dude. Why? Wait, you met him? I mean, you didn't know. And to be fair, maybe the guy wasn't that bad at that point. People change. People make mistakes. I met Zero, for example, but I don't think personally that he was a groomer at that point. I don't know. I mean, he was a kid, so I guess he wasn't. Way back in Toronto, I see. In the twilight of Brawl. Yeah. You can't blame yourself for doing stuff if you don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. But the thing is, at least when I met him, he was a kid. I mean, not a kid, an adolescent, I guess, and teenager. And I didn't even actually met him. I just played like 2 friendlies. He was a little bit annoying though. Like he talked way too much. I just wanted to play a friendly, and he was like talking about every single, almost commentating the match, and I was like, "Listen, I just want to play." I mean, I didn't say that because at the time I didn't have a lot of personality, but that was what I wanted to say. I just play the game, dude. I was trying to be like overly friendly, but you could tell that he was actually just extremely nervous all the time, kind of like he just wanted to fill the void of silence with some talk to not be nervous, something like that. That's what I felt, at least. Is this a Smash person? Yeah, this is a known groomer that was like the best Smash for an Ultimate player, and it was Chilean. Fucking hell, dude. And it was almost a model for a lot of people because he traveled and made like the esport dream, you know, in a way. Yeah, and definitely a big brawl figure too, of course. Yeah, I don't know what happened with brawl. I'm kind of happy I never got involved with that game. Because in Chile there wasn't, as far as I know, there's not any groomer stories or abuse stories in Chile. As far as I know, I might be completely out of the picture, but that said, the brawl community was full of assholes. God, there were assholes. But I'm just talking like, jerks. Not talking like exactly. Well, that's the other thing, because the Zero situation was so complicated because Zero was treated actually like shit here. But I don't even want to talk that much about it because he kind of deserves it, you know. But at the time, without all the information, he definitely didn't deserve it. Um, but yeah, like, you know, he was banned from tournaments here because he was too good on Brawl. That's how ridiculous the Chilean Brawl community was at that point. They literally banned him because he was too good. So they didn't want him to play. So they would be like competition, something like that. Oh, this fucking thing. I don't even know what to do with this thing. I mean, I wouldn't do the attack. I don't need to do the attack if I'm going for... Or do I? Because there's still the Trapper. Like, maybe the Trapper is dangerous. F3. That's a... Well, I need the no magic message. I have 23. So I guess the attack is kind of free, in a way. Let me try it with this magic. But yeah, it is, like, it sucks too, because there's like... There's always this weird thing about all the history that is done that you need to pretty much deconstruct because of fucking pedophiles in that history. And that's like nothing compared to, you know, big teams suffering, of course. But, like, God, it sucks. Like, you will probably, if you go back to some of my old streams, I bet I probably told several quote unquote cool stories about Zero on the Chilean community that I still find them really cool, but it's tainted, and I don't want to find them cool anymore, you know. Because, but Jesus. Yeah. And it's the same shit going back to, you know, like old, like commentators, for instance. You go back to old matches and they're commentating the match, and you remember that, and holy shit. Yeah, you still didn't know. I mean, it's kind of unavoidable to feel guilty. I know that, but yeah, like I think that the only people that have the right, quote unquote, or that should feel guilty is the people that were there and didn't do something, and after seeing something, even though there's still the power mechanic and all that, you can put that on the equation for sure, but you still saw something, you know, happening. I didn't saw shit. I'm Chilean. I'm not even in that community, and Zero barely was on this community, and he was a kid when he was here. And like we were ages away from any stuff like, I don't know, like feminism, honestly, at that point. Plus, it's a smaller community too. It's harder for these situations to happen, I think, on smaller communities. Or I don't know. Well, I guess I don't know, but what do I know? Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I think I was kind of similar in that sense. That I didn't really pay too much attention into the personal shit. I just pay attention to the game and to like the players, but the players inside the game. And at least in Chile, it was partially because they were like very restrictive between themselves. Like top players will hang out with top players, and that's about it. And to get into those circles was actually very hard. You needed to be good, but the thing is, to be good, you need to hang out with them first, because how are you gonna get good if you don't have like a good partner to practice? Because raw practice will never get you good in a competitive game. It just doesn't work. You need a competition partner or something. And so I remember sometimes I would get like a TO tell me it would be nice to have you, because I was a TO too, on like a meeting or something. You know, we have this meeting where we practice and all that with top players. And I was like, yeah, cool, that would be nice. But I never got invited later. It would just end there. Like, oh, it would be nice if you were there. Yeah, sure, you can invite me. But hey, I won't drop names. They know who they are. And they probably don't watch my stream, so it's fine. Who cares? Despite that, he's a very good guy, actually, and a very good TO. Yeah, so I need to wait. One, two. What about three? Definitely not. I think maybe I'm stuck in the last one. One, two. I need free cam. Where am I? They didn't fall into oblivion. Might be just outside this limit. Yeah. Oh wait, if there's enemies, I'll walk forever. I think that's what's going on. Or not. Yeah, I walk forever. I need to destroy them. It is a good for me to destroy. The word? So I guess it's a free cast. Which makes sense. I have 121. Well, doing a double one is about the same time as waiting for it. Although I could wait to do a single free cast. You don't need to be here, about there. You don't need to pause. Yeah, but then there's that problem. Oh, I don't have time. Yeah, I don't have time. Fuck. Seriously? There you go. So now that is gonna kill them. And now, do I run? Yeah, because his stance hasn't changed. Right? Of course. Well, I guess I could just, like, walk normally. No, loading zone is fine. Like, where do I have to get? I need to turn around. Don't explode first, please. Relax, chill. Oh yeah, the camera changes. And now I'm a trapper here, of course. This should also be a sanity effect. Not just being a zombie, but being a trapper. I think it would be so funny too. What am I reaching these? Oh, because it's too early. Yeah. Yeah, we need to cancel the trapper like immediately. 1, 2. Like that. And then from here. 9. White. No, it's too precise. Way too precise.
This isn't really happening.
Come on. No, don't fall there. Don't fall on me. Fucking runtime error.
This isn't really happening.
God. I mean, I can wait for... Guess I can just wait. stance change. Of course. One, two, three. One, two, three. The menu is like that because of free cam.
What's going on here?
Because items are not actually on the GUI. They're rendered like this. They're 3D modeled and placed in the menu. And that's why they move. That's how they move when you select them. This movement right here, they actually get closer. And it's the same with this. And runes are part of the background. Yeah, I think it's just items and scrolls. Oh yeah, for the strat I needed to move before. 1, 2, 3. No, too much. One, two, three. That's the one.
What's going on here?
That is the sanity warp. To avoid that thing. Yeah, because you change. It's kind of like a ground warp in a way. You go to the wrong entrance, back into the room because a bad sanity effect puts you in the previous room. But with this shit, it puts you in the wrong entrance. It's so nonsense, and it's because the game checks when it checks which entrance you came from on the previous room, saving for a sanity effect. It checks your Y coordinate, and I think it checks the entrance that has a closest Y or something, or there's some kind of Y threshold. So what we're doing is we're leaving the room as Paul falls into oblivion. That's what's going on here. And that's why this is so precise. Because there's the loading zone here. And you want to leave the room and fall enough. Just enough. Maybe that. I don't know if that's enough. It's a certain amount of units. And so then after this, the game might think you're on the other one. But that wasn't enough, for instance. But yeah, I kind of have... I have the suspicion that Sir has a way to do the consistent strat without waiting for the trappers to die. But I need to ask him. Because I definitely don't want to do the TIS without knowing that. It's like, what's the point? Plus, this one also looks extremely... Okay, I still don't know how he's getting stuck on this animation. I don't get it. Like, I can't even get the fully consistent strat for some reason. Because that was the idea, killing the trappers, that you are able to do a fully consistent strat, but that one isn't working for me too. I'm not getting stuck in the animation. I'm not familiar enough with this stuff to know when you get stuck in animations. And let me go back here. This is 2 letters. This one is the mandatory one. You walk during a very brief... There's a brief period where loading zones don't work. Just like when damage fields don't work on Trapper Summon. It's similar to that. Which is easy to get if you run forever. But if you run forever, you fall into oblivion. You want to do it with the precise little run. But that one it's very tight. Just 2 letters. Two bullets. This is the bathroom bullet, I think. Then saver and everything below. And 1 scroll. And 1 codex. Maybe killing the trapper too, I don't remember. There's none. You never go out of bounds. And I don't think there's any... There's like 1 spot where I can think of. But you don't fall. Yeah, because you need to fall into oblivion. It's like so exclusive to Out of Bounds. Because I need to gain... The thing is, I need to gain a lot of different Y while I'm transitioning the room. It's like such a specific thing. First of all, that's only possible on loading zones, which there aren't many on this game. Most doors are not loading zones. Like this door, for instance. This is a prompt. There's no loading zone behind this door. If you go behind it, you're just behind it. Yeah, triggers, exactly. But like press button trigger, not get into the trigger. Yeah. Okay, so I need to ask Sir about that, and I'm probably gonna do some digging offline of Max. Because I need to know exactly how many items I need. Might work on a Bangkok route. I know Sir might be working on one too. Have some hope for a Bangkok route to maybe be faster than the Regomore one. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. So thank you everyone for following. Yes, for watching too. And yeah, next one will probably also be. Oh, I forgot something. Holy shit! Fuck! Why did this happen? This isn't something really happening. Hang on. Totally forgot about this shit. I was supposed to do this at the beginning of the stream. But whatever, I can do it now. It's alright. So there's a challenge. So if we meet the challenge, we have 30 days. I will redo some of my old NSG, NS, and NSG challenges. Yeah, just that. Because some of them are very old. Extremely old. I'm talking like early transition time. But more important than that is a lot of them are not necessarily outdated, but I never really grind them. Some of them. Not that eternity ago. Just a couple years. But yeah, like I know actually some of the people that got into my channel probably got just because of those. A little bit. There's actually one video that I saw on YouTube that where I was using the thing of the last follower thing. There was Stella was there, and like Stella is one of my oldest followers, like oldest regular in the channel probably. Hang on, I just want this music, so I need to kill this bone thief. Okay, good. So there is a bunch that I didn't grind a whole lot. Plus, I didn't have the correct stats on my Aeons for those. Now I do have some better stats after some grinding. And then, well, depending on if the thing is reach or not, I might grind more. I could even do a grind stream, but that is gonna be the most boring shit ever. If I do that, it has to be with something else, like I don't know, maybe like watching E3 while I grind, something like that. It has to be that kind of shit. Yeah, but it's gonna be boring for me too. I'm not just talking about the viewers, because when I grind this shit, when I grind FFX stats on Aeons for NSG, what I do is I use this fucking controller which has turbo. I do a setup on a fight and then I just leave it with the turbo on and do something else. you know, I can watch a YouTube video or something. I cannot do that on stream. I mean, I can some stuff, but most stuff will get DMCA. Actually, E3 will get DMCA, but I mean, I don't care. It's not the most important stream to lose. I think something like that. I don't know. In any case, also, is there any way to fix the random gallery on OBS? Are you streaming E3? I don't know, maybe. Maybe the Nintendo one. This is the only one it could have something I'm interested in. I watched like a tiny bit of one of the conferences and I was like, none of this is for me. Nintendo one for Prime 4, yeah, maybe. Or to either get disappointed or hype about it. So yeah, something I've been noticing is I always see the same pictures here. And my gallery is huge. I have so many pictures on this gallery, but I still always see the same ones. Fucking OBS and random galleries. I need to figure that shit out. I mean, they showed the title like 2 years ago or 1 year ago. I don't know. Fix it 3 years ago. Jesus. No, but I mean like the title, like the not just they saying the title, but like showing an image of the title with like reflection and that shit. Was that long ago? Only Switch when active? Say that on Spanish? Let's see. Turn off the thing, then only switch when active. Stop when it's not visible. That's what I have. Reinitiate when it's visible. Oh, that's it. Okay, so what do I put then? I have 3 options. Because I fear that if I have pause when it's not visible. Yeah, because I kind of want to pause it, so it's not active all the time. Alright, this might do it then. I think that might do it. Yeah, I think that's the first time I see this one. No, the MVP. Just did it again. Good, thanks. That might work. Hopefully it works. So yeah, I actually kind of want to update some of that FFX stuff, but I also want to see if anyone wants me to update that, kinda, because I could just do it offline. It is not the most entertaining content. It's true. It's very technical, very specific. Well, it's actually not that technical, but it's such a specific stuff. See the challenge on channel points. No. There it is. Is that the music again? Holy shit, it actually loops eventually. I can't believe this. Whoa. We didn't know this. This wasn't documented. I thought once Black Rose is over, then you get Keen, which is the tum tum sound, and then I thought it would be Kim looping forever. But I guess, which is weird because Kim is not actually a song. It's not like Kim, the tum tum sound will last an amount of minutes, which is an amount of the song. No, it's like 4 randomized sounds programmed to save space. But I guess there is some kind of timer then, like play Kim for this amount of time. Unexpected. The game has been just running in the background, by the way. Haven't touched it. It's right here. Here. Can't see it on mobile? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, basically, I have this thing of Final Fantasy stuff. It's challenges. It's called No Sphere Greed, which you can kind of translate as beat stuff on level 1 if you want. Kinda. It translates a little bit of like that or to other RPGs. You are allowed to use anything else. Okay? So you can use... Well, it depends on the challenge. There's different challenges with different restrictions. But you can use equipment, you can use Aeons on... If it is only NSG. But then there's NSG and S, which is no Aeons, and so on. And yeah, and this is just challenges. This is not a run, by the way. It's not a run, it's challenges in the sense of I have a pre-made save file that I made by hand, humanly, you know. I've been grinding this shit for so much. It's not an emulator, it's not like hack or anything. No, I grind every single minute of it. And so I have the proper equipment and all that shit, and then it's like fight super bosses, basically. Oh, there's a whole lot. I have a playlist on my YouTube, but there's a couple monsters that I'm missing, plus a couple that are very slow. And because I'm a speedrunner, I do this with a timer, and that's kind of the idea, to do it as fast as possible. No, it's not the whole game, and that's why it might also be boring for some people, because it's just me doing some fights. Yeah. That's it. And then there is some that are... Some of them has never been done too. There's one Shinryu that is like... You need... I don't know, you probably don't need dream levels of luck, but you need very high luck to be able to do that shit. And it's just a Russian roulette, that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. Actually, at some point, wanted to calculate the probability, but I kind of failed, because I'm not that great at calculating probability. That one has never been done by humans. And I don't think it ever will. I don't think I will be the one doing that. But the other one that is technically possible is Dark Anima NSG. With Dance OA did it on emulator. So that means with modifying stats. So not having to grind the luck of the Aeons, which is the biggest thing. But it's still big props. Like still, even if you have that, it's extremely hard. So it's still kind of a commitment and a milestone, let's call it, on the challenges. But it hasn't been done like fully legit on an actual save file of a PlayStation 2 or something like that. And I'm not close to it too, because my luck is still not there. I'm talking about the luck stat, by the way. What level of grind is needed? Listen, I can talk a whole lot about it if the challenge wants, and I actually need to feel the space on those challenges, so I'm probably gonna talk about it if that happens. But any comparison, I don't know. You need to kill a monster to get spheres, and you need to get a whole lot of spheres. It's like 3 or 4 minutes to kill the monster. You need thousands of spheres, and you need to grind luck for at least 3 aeons to have a good chance. It's a lot. It's probably like a year of grinding, I would say. Maybe. Like a year non-stop. Which is a lot more than a year. Because you don't play the entire day. Like at best you will play 2 hours a day without getting insane. Which I was doing at some point. At some point I played like an entire month, about 2 hours a day. You could put a TAS doing that shit, but then it's kind of similar to like yeah, 2 hours a day, yeah, of course. And again, I can do other shit while I do that. Actually, yesterday I did some of that. I played for like 3 or 4 hours, but while I was doing something else. And I was able to level up 2 luck on a character that has 44 luck, and it needs 180, maybe? And that's just one character. No, it's insane. But listen, we will not attempt that one. I mean, I can attempt a couple of those, but we will not get that one. We will get the other ones. The ones that are possible, that had been done already. We're just getting them fast and with better video quality. Because back then, my quality wasn't that great. Video and microphone wise. But hey, you still need to win the challenge. Okay, that's it for me. I've been like stretching this too much. Bye bye everyone. Be nice.